Hey everyone, just started and then I had to restart because one of my dogs was outside barking very annoying. Hey, it's Amanda, the Lazy Stitcher. How are you all? If you are a current subscriber, hey, thanks. Thanks for coming back. If you're a new watcher, please subscribe. I hope you actually do, well, if you actually enjoy the video. I'm not going to force you to here. And yeah, I hope everyone's doing well here. So I'm wearing my fancy duds today. I used to wear this jacket and it was like freshman or sophomore year of high school because I thought I was really cool. Don't have any sequins on right now, but how about super fake blue leopard print? Yeah. It is fuzzy too. Like, this is actual faux fur, baby. Oh, yeah. So, yes, let's talk about things. First thing is, just as an FYI, I am behind on Flosstube. I have been desperately trying to catch up. I've been watching at 1.5 speed, even people who I really shouldn't watch at 1.5 speed. And it's going okay, but I'm still like 20 videos behind at this point. I subscribe to a whole bunch more people who are going to the New Jersey Flosstube retreat, and as a result, I've fallen really behind. I also have even been a little bit of a jerk, and I've recategorized the Stitch With Me videos into like a separate playlist because I figure I want to get through the regular updates first, and if I ever do, I'll get to the Stitch With Me's. So yeah, if you're getting comments from me like a week later than when you posted your video, that's why. I do what I can, man, you know? It is what it is. I'm going to get even further behind, too, because I'm going to be away for Christmas Eve and Christmas, and I'm going to be fairly busy the 3 days after, too, so whatever. I'm sure you all understand. We're all kind of in the same situation there, right? You know? So, like, who is caught up right now? Let's be real. Okay. I've got a little bit of a cold. Let's talk. What I plan to do for this update is I'm going to do a whip parade, and that's pretty much it. Just whip parade and life update, because I do have a kind of epic life update right now. But I'm going to do whip parade first. And then I'm hoping next week I can do another video. I normally don't do them that close, but I want to do a year in review / what were my goals last year? Did I actually meet them? Who knows? Suspense. So, yeah. Before I get into my whip parade, I'm just going to talk about my rotation. Now, I've mentioned my rotation in passing before, but I'm just going to go ahead and just lay it all out there, because why not? It's a Flosstube channel. So, my rotation. I do a 5-day rotation, meaning I stitch for 5 days on a project and then I switch it out. I have what I call focus whips. So they're whips that are permanently in a slot in my rotation. And then I have one slot for what I call wildcard whips, which I'll talk about in a sec. For focus whips, I have currently 3 medium to large projects. They're all technically medium, I suppose. Maybe one counts as large. I have 1 small, like I keep a slot just for small projects, and I have 1 other slot that is for gifts. Right now I'm doing small gifts, and in the future it's also going to be used for like holiday and seasonal stuff. That's probably not going to happen until 2019, though. No, yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to explain that right now, but my wild cards are whips that I don't work on as frequently. I only work on in the wild card slot. It's to try to make things more interesting for me, so I'm not just constantly working on the same projects. Because the thing is, I do get bored, and I don't want to constantly be working on just the same stuff, but at the same time, if I have too many focus whips, I'm never going to get anything done. So that's why I focus on a smaller amount, and then I give myself this extra chunk of stuff that I can throw in here and there. Currently, I have 6 wild cards. I try to keep it to around 5. I'll talk about that later why I have 6. And yeah, I have one other, and then my last whip is what I call an inactive whip. Basically, it's like a UFO, but I'm not technically giving up on it permanently. I just had to set it aside for a while. And yeah, I'll talk about that later too. So let's get into this. I was going to do this by what I consider to be my rotation order, but to be honest, I don't know what order my pile of stuff is in, and I'm not going to go through that. So I'm just going to do it by whatever order everything is piled in. So I am classy and use little cheapo Ziploc bags for my project bags. Someday maybe I'll get some real project bags, or at least those big dollar store ones. So first one, this is Glory of Autumn. It's gonna look like this when it's done. Glory of Autumn is a dimensions kit. I am using all of the kit materials, even the 14 count ivory Ada. And this is my oldest whip. I started this in like what, 2015 I think. And it was sitting, it was a focus for a little bit, and then I had it sitting as a wildcard whip, and now it's a focus again. So, and this is where this is. I can't remember if I worked on this last time, but I don't remember when I last showed this to you guys. But last time I worked on it, I finished up this area and I filled in some more over here. My plan is to, next time I work on it, to fill in more in this area. But I have the mill done, not any back stitching, but hey, it's not bad progress. I have no particular goals for finishing this. It's for myself. I have no idea how long this is going to take me. I don't know. And it's a little finicky and hard to stitch on for me because I have a hard time deciding what color to do next, but hey, I like it. Okay, next piece is actually technically a new start. This is a present for my niece Maris. I can't really show you the finished piece because I don't have, it didn't really come with a cover photo. I dropped my tissue. Okay. Sorry about the runny nose, but I'll show you where I am. I'm about a third done. So I'm stitching this on 14 count Ada. This is Polar Ice, I believe. The color was on clearance at Joann's, and I just saw an opportunity to buy it. And since I'm very heavy into Stitch from Stash right now, I was like, well, seems appropriate. I'm gonna use it. Didn't think about how many fractional stitches are in this piece. Ouch. Okay, so here we go. There's 2 turtles in this. There's a bigger turtle and a little turtle. This is the big turtle, and the very beginning of the little turtle is right here. So, yeah, pretty cute. Decent little start. I'm hoping I can finish this within, you know, after working on it, like, maybe 2 more times. We'll see. It's not particularly large, but it's cute. Oh my god, the runny nose. It really hasn't been that bad today, but anyway. Next piece. I also don't have the finished thing for you. It's from the, sorry. Oh my god, I'm all sniffly and gross. It's from the 2016 Ornament issue of Just Cross Stitch, and it's a baby's first Christmas ornament. I have a black and white picture of it. There you go. Because that's my working copy. I did a photocopy of it. So this one, I'll show you what I've got. So, quick story. Oh, shoot. I forgot something I was going to show you guys. I'll just have to show you another time. I'm not going to go get it. I'm gonna have to. But I'll get it at the end. I'll try to remember. So anyway, I was on a lot of public transportation. I'm going to talk about that later too. And I was on a train for quite a while, and that's when I stitched most of this. Initially, it was a really pathetic start, and then I basically almost finished it. So this is it. It's a baby's first Christmas ornament. It will say baby's first Christmas here with back stitch. Basically all that's left of this thing is I've got a little bit of stitching for, this is a teddy bear holding a candy cane, and then there's back stitch and beads. And there's not even that many beads. There is a decent amount of back stitch though. It's gonna have wheels and stuff. And over here I'm going to stitch out Robin. I think I'm gonna do it that way. Robin, and then have the year, which is gonna be a lie, which is gonna be 2016, because that was his first Christmas. But it is super friggin' cute. Loved stitching it. And the fabric for this one is 28 count. I forget what color this is. This is the MCG Textiles Even Weave. I don't recommend it. You know, it's famous for being uneven. I figured it would be fine for this ornament, and it is. It doesn't seem to be a big deal for this ornament. But I should be able to finish this next time I work on it, so yay. That's one of my smalls, for my smalls slot. Okay, this is actually going in the correct order right now. So next, we've got the birth record. This one's by Stitch Rovia. It's gonna look like this when it's done. This birth record is on 14 count white Aida. I've been working on this for more than a year now. It's been a focus. It's almost been, I started it in November, and then it didn't become a focus until like January, February. This is, I'll show it. So, got a lot of progress from last time. So, welcome, baby boy! There we go. So, last time I worked on this, I finished the weight. Oh, first of all, I finished this block finally. I had just a tiny bit of yellow to put in. I finished the weight, I did this pacifier, and I did a good chunk of the birthday. So, it's looking good. Oh, I've been working on this forever. You know, I've been pretty sick of this piece, but you know what? I actually feel kind of reinvigorated because I'm getting near the end. Basically, I have to finish the date one, obviously. There's the hospitals here. There's a baby basket, and then a few little motifs, and that's it. So I'm closing in on it. I do regret my fabric choice. I don't really mind Aida, and I don't mind the more cross-stitched individual X look. I actually think that looks really nice sometimes. Except, for some pieces, I do think the fuller coverage is better. And this is one of them where fuller coverage would be better. The dark colors are not that great. But, too late now. So, last piece, this is the last focus piece, to clarify, is Garden Cat by Satsuma Street. I am also stitching this on 14 count Aida. You'd think that I really like 14 count Aida. I don't. And I never remember this color. It's a green. It's a Charles Craft one. So, I have one part thread because I had started it and didn't finish it. This one. Yeah. How awesome is this piece, people? Gosh, I love it. So, when I worked on this most recently, I finished this pink flower, finished this column, and I did a good portion of here, a tiny bit of the cat, and then, yeah, I finished a good portion of this next, what I would consider a column. I love the colors in this piece. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's moving right along. I really hope to finish this early in the new year. I really, really do, because this is for my niece, Atia, and I'm gonna do Mermaid Lagoon for Maris, and I want to have it done for next year. I want to have it done for at least by Christmas, if not sooner. So I gotta move. I gotta move on it. But I'm doing well. I'm happy. Okay, pardon me, I'm gonna put all of this back really quick. Alright, those are all my focus whips. So those are the whips that, if you're watching my channel, you're gonna see those pretty regularly, except for the smaller stuff that I finish quicker. Let's go into my wild cards. These are the ones that you're not gonna see as often. So, gotta set this aside. They are of varying progress. Some of these I really plan on making focus whips at some point, and some of these no. So, first one I got. I've only worked on this one once. This is a kit by DMC. It's a wedding sampler. It's not really a sampler, but I'm using the stuff that came with the kit. It was a used kit, but they hadn't used the fabric or anything, so although I think this is like an MCG Textiles, I bet. I don't even remember where I was on this. Oh, that's where I was. So here we go. I haven't looked at this in quite a while. Here we go. This is one of the ones you don't see as often. This is my husband and I, our first initials, as opposed to our last. You can see me through the fabric. Anyway, it's using like DMC light effects and stuff, which, ew, but whatever, I don't really care. I've got a needle threader now. Ooh, I have a hot mess of a knot back here. You don't want to see my bags, people. They're bad. But yeah, I actually, you know, this fabric, I don't like it, but the look of it's nice. And yeah, this was like a week's worth of progress before I went down to 5 days in my rotation. So yeah, this one, I'm gonna work on it again soon, actually. I think next wild card, I'm gonna work on this again. I don't know if this is ever gonna become a focus piece. I mean, I've been married for almost 5 years. I'm not in like a huge rush to do this, but at the same time, I think it's going to depend on how much progress I manage to get on it, you know? Okay, what have I got next? Yeah, this one is my favorite amongst my wild cards. So this one is going to be my next focus whip. Once I finish, it'll probably be the birth record. Joan Elliot, Bewitching cross-stitch book, that dragon, Crescent Moon Dragon. I am stitching this on 32 count Jobelin from Fantasy Dyed Fabrics. It's very wrinkly, apologies. And here we go. So the entire border's done, which you can barely tell. It's in Kreinik. I'm trying to say it right. Oh my god, look at those wrinkles. Woof. Yikes, that's going to be a nightmare. Especially because it's a hand-dyed. Best press to the rescue. And then this is what I've done on the actual dragon. This is the crescent moon, and then that's the dragon's wing. Not a ton. But hey, at least I'm done with the entire border, which I didn't really have to do. But, yeah. It'll be... This, like I said, is going to be my next focus. Once I finish something that isn't Garden Cat, because Garden Cat has one specific replacement. So I love it. I love this dragon, and I'll be so happy when I can just focus entirely on it. Okay, moving. Next one is another Dimensions kit. Pair of wolves. It's a little one. I'm just using the kit materials. So the Ada is like a 16 count gray. That's fine with me. I started this fairly recently. And here it is. You can see the 2 wolf heads. I'm working over here, and I kind of want to fill this area and just move over like that. This one looks like a raccoon. But yeah, I like this. I mean, I don't have a lot to say about it. I've had this kit for a very long time, finally started it recently, and I'll actually probably work on this. I want to work on this again before winter's over, because there is snow and it's kind of a wintry scene. So, I don't think that one's ever going to become a focus whip, because I'm not that passionate about it, and it's small enough I can honestly finish it working on it here and there as a wild card, to be honest. Alright. That's one of my few purchases I'm not even going to show you right now. Mermaid Lagoon. I talked about that. So this one, Mermaid Lagoon, in my opinion, barely counts as a whip, because I started it for Mania and I worked on it for one day and I haven't touched it since. Does that really count? I mean, technically, but I don't plan on touching. This is going to replace Garden Cat once I'm done with Garden Cat. This is on 14 count Black Ada. Again, using up my Ada, people. I just want to use everything up. So this is only one day that I worked on this. It's really not impressive. I think it's this way. No. Yeah, it's this way. There. Wow. I mean, does that even really count as a whip? I guess it does, because I did start it, but whatever. Yeah. That'll be fun when I actually really get going. Wait, I am moving through these. Oh, sorry. Scratch my eyeball. There we go. Okay. Almost second to last. Stitch Rovia. Quotes to live by. So, I got really ambitious, and I was like, I want to do quotes to live by so bad. And I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And then I actually started it, and I was like, holy bajolies, this is going to be way too long. Like, I thought it was going to be quicker than it was. It's not that quick. So, but that said, I do like it. I'm just, this isn't going to ever be a focus. I'm just going to work on it here and there. It's going to take me years to finish, and I don't care. That's fine. I do like it. I don't have a need to finish it. So here we go. I finished the first quote entirely, and I have done some of that ginormous pink monstrosity emblem, which a lot of people have just not filled in. Yeah, I respect that choice. This is on 28 count Antique White Monaco. So, yeah. I have purchased the second quote, and I'm going to start that the next time I decide to work on this, which is, who knows when? Like, I just don't. It's not that I don't like it. It's just, yeah. Yeah, I just don't have any need to get this done anytime soon. I'm going to try to, I mean, I do want to finish it. It's just, it's not a rush. I'm comfortable working on this here and there. And then my last piece, well, last wild card, clarify, is a new start, actually. So, this is a Pass the Stash from my dear friend Ingeborg, A Stitch Too Far. And she passed on Good Intentions by Kathy Barrick. This isn't the first primitive I've worked on. I know, I'm sorry I'm looking across here. I just want to make sure. I love it, I love it, I love it. I myself am made entirely of flaws stitched together with good intentions. That is about the most accurate way to describe myself ever. It's 100% true about me, people. I'll tell you why later. So here's my start. I've worked on this for 6 days because just with the way, I'm gonna get a new tissue. You're all gonna get grossed out. With the way that my rotation has worked, I was like, I don't see the point in, I'm not gonna get much stitching done for the holiday, and I was like, I don't see the point in, like, going on with my rotation, working on something for one day, you know. I just gave this an extra day, but here's my start. So, ooh, that didn't help. I should have a board or something. I am stitching this in DMCs. It calls for NPIs. Ha, no, I'm poor. It's on 32 count natural linen by MCG Textiles. I think this is the same fabric for that DMC kit. DMC. That sounded like damn kit. I don't really like this fabric, but I'm gonna work with it. Also, I feel kind of guilty because I forgot it was 32 count and I cut the piece of fabric for 28 count. And initially I was like, oh, because I get upset if I waste fabric, you know? But then I was like, you know, I don't even like this fabric very much. I'm done with MCG Textiles, people. I don't even like this fabric, but just, I try to be resourceful. But I love it. In her face, which I'm going to have a hard time really getting in there, I did my first 1/1 stitches. They look good. And the only change I've made is her lips are charted in this gray color, which that gray is popping. It actually blends in a little too much in real life, but I just don't care. It's not, it's noticeable enough. But anyway, her lips are in that color. There's 2 little 1/1 stitches that are her lips. I left those, but I stitch over the back stitch line of her mouth with the red color, the coppery color instead. You're never going to be able to catch that in my phone camera, but it's cute because it's like, it's pretty subtle. It's a little pop of color. I like it. But thank you, Ingeborg, because I freaking love this. I don't know when I'm going to work on it again, but it's stitching up pretty quick. It's kind of funny in that I basically just went back and forth between the top border and the girl because I don't like I don't want to say I don't like borders. I'm fine stitching on borders, but I get bored. So that's why I go back and forth. That's my thing. I do that with everything I stitch. I go back and forth. And yeah, it's just sort of funny because, yeah, look at that. I'm nearly done with the top border, but the girl, like, she still has a lot more dress. It's funny how these things are just a little deceptive as to what you think would be the case. Next time I work on it, once I finish the border, I'm going to start working on some of the spools. Sorry, my stuff's about to fall off the table. And yeah, that is all of my Wildcard WIPs. There is 1 WIP left. So I'm just going to try to quickly put this stuff away before it slides off the table because this is making me nervous. 1 more. So my last, what I call inactive WIP, is this one. Time for Sugaring. It's a Heaven and Earth design. The artwork is by Jane Wooster Scott. Now, this piece, so first of all, I like pretty much everything by Jane Wooster Scott. I just like this style, and I like that old-timey classic feel. Now, I know reality of history, not so much the beautiful idealized, but I can't help it. I love that, like, nostalgic feeling for something that has never technically existed for me. This is a monster. This is a full-sized Hade, 700 by 526. Youch. Now, realistically, I don't think I could ever finish this in my lifetime. I just don't stitch fast enough. I don't have enough stitchy time. I'm gonna have to blow my nose again. I'm sorry. Hold up. Anyway, that said, I basically, for this piece, I put it on hold because I was just like, I decided I wanted to do Motherhood, the piece with the mermaid and her baby. I was going to do that instead. But as you all know, Motherhood did not work out. Real life Motherhood has worked out fine for me. The stitch piece, I just had major fabric issues and just, it didn't work out for me. I plan on doing that at some point, just, I'm not restarting that anytime soon. That said, A Time for Sugaring is on 18 count Ada, and it's the, I forget if it's Magic Guide or Easy Count. It's the one by DMC with the red lines. Now, I mean, I think I could actually work on this piece. My plan is I'm going to try bringing it back in the new year. And hopefully it works out better than it did last time. I mean, even if I don't get much progress, I can enjoy the process, so I'm going to try, you know, 1 BAP and then 3 medium larges, 1 small, etc. Okay, so I'll show you the last. I have not looked at this in a long time. I have it in an old pillowcase. Clean old pillowcase, but it's an old pillowcase nonetheless. And this thing's ginormous because 18 count Ada. I was stitching it 2/1, by the way. Good coverage. Oh, jeebus, this thing's huge. Okay, I found it. So this is what I stitched. I worked on this for a while, and I didn't even finish a page. So this is it. I was stitching in rows. Yeah. Oh boy. What I started doing, I had a bunch of parked threads. I stopped parking threads, and after a while, I'd go through with a color until it ended, and then I'd just do another color, and that's basically what I was doing. Because there's not many colors in this section. It's mostly 3 colors repeating. There are some other ones, as you can see, but really not much else, so that was working for me. You can actually see my row lines. I didn't realize that. I don't really care. I might do Jessie's new method of the diagonal. Maybe. Probably not yet, because again, it's like so few colors I don't really even need to park. It actually looks a little bit like something. Like, this is supposed to be the sky. So yeah, I plan on bringing this back. We'll see how it goes. It might not work out, and that's fine. Like, I'm comfortable with that, you know. I really like Hades. Like, I like the idea of Hades. I think they're so cool. I like the idea of full coverage, but the reality is, I just don't know if I have enough time to do full coverage. I just don't think I stitch fast enough, and I just don't think I have enough stitchy time. My stitchy time has gone way up as Robin has gotten older, but even though I technically have a good portion of the day, I do have to do chores, and my house is still in the process of getting to a point where I'm happy with the cleanliness. It's not there yet. It's closer, but it's not there. And also, you know, I'm stitching around a toddler. I think you all can imagine how that might be. So that's it. That's all of my whips. I don't have any haul. I mean, well, I do. I'm not going to show it. There isn't much, and I'll just show it in my next update video, which probably won't be until the new year. I do have life update, so I'm going to try to be quick because it's a little over half an hour, and I want to keep this shorter than usual. Don't want to make hour-long videos anymore. I really want to get like down to half hour, 45 minutes. So, okay, I grabbed the thing. I'm gonna tell my story, and I'm gonna insert the thing when I get to that point. So, bachelorette party. Now, I've got a few stories to tell. They're good. I want to clarify, I'm not a Debbie Downer, and I don't mean to sound negative, but I just want to express the hot mess that I am as a person sometimes. So, keeping it real, people. So, okay. So, it's bachelorette party time, and I have to go to New York City. I had a bus, and then I was going to go home by train. So, I get an email from Peter Pan, because that's who I was using for the bus, and they're like, schedule change. Okay. And they list the schedules and the changes, and I don't see my time that I was getting the bus anyway. I'm like, okay, I guess it doesn't apply to me. Big mistake. Should have just called to check, because we get there, and it turns out that the bus I needed had already left. I think what actually happened is that the bus I needed just didn't exist anymore. I think they just completely got rid of that. Now, the bus driver, we did see a Peter Pan bus driver, which is how we figured this out. He was really nice, and he figured out when the next bus was. It was too late, but he figured out there was another bus that was not yet in Springfield, Mass. I was trying to get a bus in Amherst. Amherst is how we say it. I went to college there. So we drive down, my husband actually, because he's a saint, and I was a little upset. He was like, and he's more willing to drive faster than me. We make it to Springfield, and we're on time, we're fine. But we have a hard time because they moved where the Peter Pan buses are. We figured that out. There was a sign. And then I get to where it's time to wait for the bus, and and there's another girl there, and we're waiting for the bus, and a bus arrives, and it's Greyhound, and then we notice that the sign said Greyhound. Like, how dumb are we? No offense to her, but, you know, we're both dumb. It's mutual. But anyway, we found the right bus. I got on the right bus. It was fine. Had a great time with the bachelorette party. It was great. On the bus, I did a lot of stitching. I was working on December of the Lizzie Kate Yearbook series. I was about halfway done, and this was on December 2nd, my husband's birthday, and I finished it the next day on the train going home. So here's December, 28 count, Cassia linen, it's light mocha. Yep, I did it. So that's what I went to grab, because I'm done. I did it. I did the entire Lizzie Kate Yearbook series, and I finished it on time. I had started this one in November, which was sort of against my rules, but I just wanted to get it over with because it was really annoying going back and forth with my projects and being like, okay, I'm gonna work a little on this, work a little on that. It was annoying, and I just wanted to focus one thing at a time. And yeah, after I finished that, like, for example, I did so much more progress than usual on that birth record, so it was great. And on the train ride home, I worked on that baby ornament. So, you know, Christmas ornament that is for the baby. Okay, so that's that story. And like I said, the actual bachelorette party went really well. Like, there were a few hitches, they were minor, whatever, it was what it was. She had a good time. That's what matters. She had a good time. And I got to experience male strippers, which, it was my husband's birthday, and I really wasn't that interested. So, okay. So, Claudia's wedding. Here's another story about why this piece embodies who I am, okay? Alright. So, it's a 4.5 hour drive. I'm doing the driving. We're at hour 4. Almost there. I say jokingly, haha, I wonder what important thing I forgot. A second goes by, and I go, I had forgotten the dress. I'd forgotten my bridesmaid's dress, for real. So, yeah, that's a problem. Now, so we realized this, and I didn't know what to do. I talked with the other fellow bridespeople, and we all agreed we shouldn't tell Claudia, because Claudia's, she did not need to make Claudia's life harder. So, it was hard, because basically what we decided to do is my husband was going to drive back all the way to Vermont to get the dress and then drive back the next morning. because my husband is the best husband in the entire world. And I apologize to everybody else's husband. I'm sure you guys are also the best husband, but he really is. And I'm gonna cry because I love my husband so much. He's an amazing person. He's such a good guy. So, we managed to duck out a little bit early from the rehearsal dinner because Robin was being fussy. Good boy. And then, my husband drives back to Vermont. He gets a little bit of sleep. I slept awful because Robin slept awful. He kept everyone in the, like, we all stayed in this, like, Airbnb mansion, and he kept everybody awake. It was a beautiful mansion. It was a really cool idea. It was not very practical for babies. So, and then the next day, my husband he started coming back. The wedding's at 3. He starts coming back a little before 8, which is good. And I felt really bad because the whole time, like, I had to watch Robin, so I wasn't as helpful of a maid of honor as I could have been because I had to watch my kid, had to get makeup done and hair done while holding a toddler. He managed, we did it. He was pretty good, all things considered. He's a pretty well-behaved kid. Then my husband arrived around 1 o'clock with the dress, my hero. But it's not done. So, you might remember, I didn't fit that well in the dress. I dieted like crazy because exercise alone was not doing it, and even though I don't eat that much food, clearly I was eating too much. So I cut down drastically, was having really light breakfast, light lunch, and then, I don't want to say I was starving myself for dinner too, but I was having smaller dinners. Not unreasonably, but anyway. I was really dieting hard, I was exercising, and I definitely lost weight. I don't know how much weight because I don't have a scale, but I lost weight. And when it came time to putting the dress on, there was a top hook because I had a strapless dress, and it did hook. And it fit okay. Like, it actually felt just about right. And my husband could take the zipper and put it together. So clearly, I did actually fit in the dress. Now, people are going to debate me on this. I fit in the dress. The zipper, he was having trouble with. Now, in my defense, this zipper was hard to zip even with me out of the dress. There was a part where it would get kind of, you know, it would stop a little bit. And he was very afraid we should have got another person because the zipper broke. Now, it did not break the seam where the zipper was tied in. The actual zipper itself broke. One of the little teeth broke. And so this is what I've done to my poor best friend. And, we had time, but I had to think of a solution. I was like, sew me in the dress. So, turns out that the second shooter, the second photographer, she had a sewing kit. And she and one of the other bridesmaids, they sewed me into the dress. And that's what happened. That's who I am. Oh. Okay. So, it was fine. It was noticeable if you looked at it, but it really wasn't that noticeable. It looked fine. Dress was beautiful. I did technically fit, but F that dress, man. So, it was fine. So, actual wedding was amazing. Seriously, the best wedding I've ever been to. The ceremony, there was lots of laughs, but it was also really touching. I cried a lot because I've known Claudia since 3rd grade. She's a really good friend, and the photographer is one of her good friends. He's an amazing photographer. She had recommended him to do photos for our wedding, and I was like, yeah, sure. And like one of my other friends, he was like, Paul was like, are you sure? No, he was amazing. I loved the photos. He was worth every penny, and then Paul used him for his wedding too, so. So anyway, she got these gorgeous photos, and like, you can tell Claudia's a detail-oriented person. You can tell that she put so much thought into this wedding, into every little detail, and it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. It was a great time. Good food, good company. Like, she and her now husband run a theater company in their town, and you know, they know a lot of young talented actors, so they had them perform at the wedding. Oh, it was just great. I loved it. Best wedding I've ever been to. Seriously, it was great. Again, so much thought put into it. And then Claudia didn't find out till the next day because she had a brunch, post-wedding brunch, and she didn't find out till the next day what happened with the dress, the leaving it part, and then forgetting it. And she was like, I'm glad I didn't know. She's just like, and she was like, your husband's amazing. Because she was probably thinking he was a jerk, you know, like, why isn't he watching the baby? So yeah, man. And that is who I am. Okay. Sorry for the gross nose. Okay, I'm done. That's everything. Hopefully I'll see you guys next week. I don't know. Before I sign off, thank you for subscribing, liking, commenting. Especially the comments. They make my day. I know I'm not as good at replying as I used to be. I'm really sorry. I try. I can be a little forgetful. Oh, that reminds me. I need to do a drawing for I had a little giveaway. If you look at my last video, there's a little giveaway. I said I was going to do the drawing this video. I hope people aren't mad. I didn't specify a specific date. I'm going to do it in the next video instead because I really need to wrap this up. I know it's not as long as some of my other videos, but I got stuff. I gotta get my kid to bed. So, seriously, you guys are all awesome. And I hope you enjoyed seeing all my whips. How many do I have? 12? Yeah, I have 12. So, not a huge amount. I like trying to keep it kind of limited. But, yeah. See you all again soon. Hope you're all doing well. Much love. Hope you all enjoyed my story of how crazy I am. Toodles.